Hey, good morning, guys. This is Ty from Master Kicks. I got a quick show for you this morning. On last week, I was talking to my nephew, and I was trying to invite him to an event this coming Saturday, and he goes, "Well, I can't go because it's my prom night." Then I immediately thought about the Jordan 13 cap and gown. Last year, the 11th edition dropped on the same prom night and cap and gown graduation celebration day, and he did well. But Nike didn't come out with a lot of shoes, a lot of pairs per se. They only came out with a few number, and then they did high preservation. But the shoe did so well that Nike thought, why are we trying to just limit this for graduating folks? So we're gonna do a lot more because we know this gonna sell, and we know according to the Edit to Amplify campaign, we just want to give people what they want. So I guess that's the reason why the 13 is gonna be first come first served. And if I show you the maps from Foot Locker, Champs, and all these other places, they're getting a substantial amount. So my job this morning was to try to come up with a believable estimate, and we're gonna get to it. So let me share my screen, show you the shoe, and we're gonna go from there. All right. So let's get to that. Uh, First, this is the shoe. So it's all black, and again, that's a good color to begin with. It's a conservative color, easy to wear. It's gonna do well. And then, as far as like the material, you have a little bit of smooth nubuck, and then on this portion of the shoe, what you have is just patent leather. Now, there's one little detail that my partner, Chris from Arch, mentioned that I think is going to be critical. This over here, the leopard eye is not showing. They replaced it with a 23 and the Jumpman. I don't think that was a great idea. They should have just kept it, you know, they should have just kept the shoe as it is. Don't switch it up. I don't know. Maybe that's going to hurt the shoe. People might just be a little bit uncomfortable buying that shoe because the leopard eye is not there. People get weird. But again, that's their right. As a consumer, you want what you want. So let's look at the shoe real quick. I think it's a great shoe. Now, for men, it's going to cost $200, and for kids, it's going to be $150. All right. So now let's get into the article. Now, before I even start, I think Adidas is missing out on a huge opportunity because most of these brands they copycat each other anyway. So I'm thinking, Adidas, why don't you come up with a NMD or some kind of a shoe that is dedicated to graduates? I think it's going to be fitting because guess what? This youth these days they want to be they want to be heard, and this is the generation Z, right? If I'm not mistaken, where all these kids think they have a voice. I mean, they do have a voice. I'm not saying they don't, but it's like Adidas a couple of years ago when the NMD dropped, it carried with it this concept of being free spirited. And I think Adidas should have just come up with a shoe like that for graduates. They would have done good. I think that they missed out a great opportunity. But that's not my job this morning. I want to just tell you how many pairs could have been made. All right. So first thing we want to do is this: who's getting the shoe? Now the major chains is going to be Nike, of course, Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action, East Bay, Online, Finish Line, Hibbert. Now for the minor chains, the ones that I came up with are Downtown Locker Room, Jimmy John's, Eblens, City Gear, Shoe City, Kicks USA, and probably more. All right. So what I did was this: I'll give a 1/3 of the entire production to Foot Locker and Family. That means Stamps, Foot Action, and East Bay. And then for per Foot Locker, we're gonna give 18 pairs per store, 12 for Foot Action and Champs. And then for the online store, we're gonna give them about 1/3 of the total the physical stores are getting. And now for Foot Locker, it's 18 times 1,000 because this is 1,000 location within the United States. So that's 18,000 pairs. For Champs, it's going to be 547 times 12, which is 65, 64. And for Foot Action, it's going to be 210 times 12, which is 25, 20. Now to find the total for the physical store, we just add all these numbers up. So I connected both the online and the physical at the same time. So for the online, we're going to do the total here divided by 3, which is 9028. And I included East Bay on there. And then the total from Foot Locker will be adding all this together, and you get 36,112. And then the grand total, which is the total production You just multiply that by 3 because this is what we did in the beginning. We assigned a 1/3 to Foot Locker, right? So in total, I'm thinking 108,000 pairs and some change. Now, I want to make sure you guys understand this. Like, I may be totally wrong on my estimates because everything written on this post is purely based on my own subjective prediction, basically. I give our signs their allocation per store and I do the multiplication. So if I missed that by like 18 pairs, that means totally throws off my numbers. So you can play with it and kind of figure it out yourself. So my estimate is 108,000, maybe 110. I don't think that's not feasible. So I'm gonna stick with it. Now, how's the sneaker going to perform in retail? I went on eBay and I collected some data. All right. So, and this is what I see on the table here, the table that I give you. Now, the histogram, like I say, is the sales record from eBay between April the 7th and the 23rd. Now, you can clearly see that there are some irregularities, right? In early April, the market value was at 300, right? If you see here, it's at $300. And then between that to like the 13th, it goes down to 250. And then he stays at 300 for like a couple of days. He goes down to 250. And then on the 16th, it goes down to 235. 16, between the 16 and the 18, it goes to 235. And then he leaps back up to 270 on the 19th, on the 20th, the 279, 280, and now is roughly at 230. So right now, your market value via eBay is $230. Now, should you buy that to flip? You do the math. The shoe costs you $200 before tax. If you live in Maryland, that's $212. So if unless you want the shoe for yourself, I would not touch it as far as like reselling it. Now, I didn't do the keyed sizes, but I think what's going to happen is this: when the shoe drops, it's gonna the price is gonna drop at some point, right? I actually created a linear regression line to try to come up with a way to figure out what's going to happen in the days to come. So the shoe is losing about $4 and 3.75 per day, if I'm not mistaken. So now again, there might be a model breakdown at some point. So keep that in mind. But if you use this equation here, you can come up with your own estimate for the next couple of days. All right. So should you buy the flip? I will not be touching it. Now, as far as retail is concerned, retailers are going to do well. I think they're going to sell, but that critical point is the whatchamacallit, the leopard eye. That might be the deciding factor. All right. Now, I'm not down. I also want to show you that I've come across with fakes. Now, I don't have an authentic pair on hand to do a real versus fake yet, but I want to just show you a couple of things that you need to watch out for. All right. Now, look at the box here. This is the fake one. The box has all these lines and it's all bumpy and everything. So again, that's a dead giveaway. I wouldn't touch it. But the most thing you want to look at is the inside label. Now, in a few months, things are going to change because Nike new label now come up with this like QR code that you can scan. But as of now, this is still the old label. So if you see anyone selling the shoe with this production date, just stay away from it. I wouldn't touch it. Okay. I don't have an authentic shoe on hand yet, but I'm just trying to show you this little detail so you can watch out. There's fakes around, so be very, very extremely careful. All right. Thanks for watching. And stay tuned for more stuff. This time for Master Kicks. Oh man.